Alan, Tanner, Shirin, Brian, and Shlomo. And I am Kambhampati. I'm a moderator. Moderation. The premise for this panel is that automated planning has mainly been model-based. Recent progress in other areas has been data-centric. Do we need to change in any way? Okay, so that's basically the premise. A bunch of people ask, is this festivals? Really, no, we have nothing to complain about. We have reached a certain level of nirvana right now, so we're all happy. So it's not festivals at all, okay? What it is basically, let me give you a small background on this. So that's our community, family community, happy people. And there was, I think if you registered, we got one of these I love buttons, and it said I love robots. Give me a break. We don't love robots. We love our models. Okay, we love PDDL 2.5.7, RPDL, MPDDL, and even before the fiddle stuff, there used to be other models like KRSL, etc. This is the stuff that we really love, right? And we having our good life, but there have been pressures on us. That's the sad part, right? And some pressure that we are pretty much aware of, people have been seriously increasing us. One of the kinds of pressures that we have always been aware of is this people, bozos from NASA, military, even power industry, etc., saying your models are not expensive enough. It doesn't have nonlinear equations, it doesn't have processes, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. How are we going to use your models? And they've been yelling at us. And we once in a while pay some attention to them and then think about how planning community can deal with this sort of things. This has been there. And what I want to bring up is there's been a new set of people who've been trying to yell at us. Well, maybe yell at us or not, at least you can feel the pressure, which is that, as I said, the rest of the world, in various areas, has become highly data-centric. So there used to be an area called vision, and it just is basically visual data plus deep learning. There is no vision actually as a theory left anymore. They have all this ImageNet, CocoNet data, and then NLP has its own engram corpus, the grammar corpus, and so on and so forth. So these guys, if you try to talk to them about planning, they basically say, wait, you guys have models? How do you get these models? Who exactly is giving you these models? And if you are a real serious discipline, where's your data sets? Here exactly this huge data sets being kept and so on. So that's sort of a cartoonish view of the premise as to why whether we should be caring about it. This stuff is important, but we have talked about this. This stuff, I don't know that we have talked about it. Talk about it, we don't necessarily have to change our research. You might, for example, I'm told that in the planned out panel, people have decided that really the other communities have to wise up and realize how important PDDL is, and then that we are great. But similarly, we could decide here too. But I thought that's a good thing to start with. So I got this. We talked about whether or not to have this panel, and we had all these people agree that it's a worthwhile thing to talk about. And so here we are. And there's a partial list of issues that I suggested to the panel. Those include, for example, if planning work to be data-centric. I'm not saying that planning should only be data-centric, but it should also work to be data-centric. Should we be busy curating planned data sets and our own ImageNet, and we are PlanNet, okay? And I know that in Europe there used to be a PlanNet, PlanEdge, it now became a PlanNet. Okay, and then are our communities modeling languages? If we did go towards the data-centric side, are our communities modeling languages, PDDL, etc., going to be equally useful when they need to be acquired from the data as against being hand-given? And this is a reasonable question to ask. At least, some of us, for example, in my own work, in my own school's work, we have looked at the fact that you could learn a variety of spectrum of models, and sometimes learning the shallower end models and using them winds up being more effective in some cases. So that might be a question you might want to think about. The third question is, should our validation metrics also change and relax? For example, one of the great games that natural language processing community has played is, instead of talking about meaning of a sentence, they talk about perplexity of the generated text with respect to the old text. And you feel this monotonic progress just washing all over you, except when you see one of those actual sentences, you might cringe. So the interesting point is, if we do data-centric planning at all, we still tend to evaluate it in terms of is the validator set for the PPDDL or PDDL saying that this plan is correct. We might very well want to consider other types of metrics such as complexity metrics, maybe what we're thinking about. To what extent is reinforcement learning just the answer? So in fact, that's the thing that we also have people from reinforcement learning in the community. So is that just enough? How do we handle the data versus doctrine tension? I mean, we still do have a large number of cases where, it's like they would like you to take the doctrine that they have and convert it to models, but they also is data available. So how do we actually combine those two different tensions? And then what, if any, do you see as albatross, as an albatross in the current ICAPS dogma with the data-centric planning? I mean, so is there things that we should be relaxing? And then also, are we already doing data-centric planning anyway? And those of you who are not sitting in this room but are sitting in the other room might have seen during the day that in fact there are all sorts of interesting work that's being done on smart grids and on taxis, etc., where parts of the models are acquired immediately from the data. And then, of course, finally, the most important question, what do we do with the GPUs, really? I mean, that's seriously, if you are in the AI community right now, we should find a use for GPUs, right? So that's what I suggested as things to think about. And of course, given that nobody takes any instructions, I'm sure all of our esteemed colleagues here will actually come up with very different take on this. I did tell them that each of them get exactly 5 minutes. I don't know how much I took, but they will get exactly 5 minutes. And then that way we'll have close to 30 minutes of discussion from you guys. And of course, the rest of the conference, we can be talking about this. So that's where we are going to. I just mentioned that it's the 5-minute initial statements are going to be done in the order of the funniest person, most alphabetical order. Alan is going to go, and then Scott, then Shirin, then Ryan, then Shlomo. Followed by, of course, the question. Alan?
There are no jokes in my
What?
I can do something.
Yeah. No,
I'll use this. All right, so we'll see. That's an animation here. Oh, so it's still yeah, I think I'll talk about something related to what Subbarao wants to talk about. When I started thinking about this, there's so many things to talk about. I'm trying to focus on one. And so there's a common mantra that you hear all the time now, data to decisions. And for me, that people actually do think about planning or optimization of decisions in that context. They're not going to just classify whether it's business applicability. So I think that right there, the moderates and makes everybody intuitively planning and decision making harder. And today, as I said, you go upstairs and all of us are very impressed. We have a really good community of people working on interesting problems and really realistic creative problems. So it seems like you can keep building that community. It's really, really, really good shape. But the questions I wanted to look at, the first one is, do we need explicit models? That's sort of the ICAPS needs to exist. And then if we do, what can ICAPS, what can we offer? I really haven't done too much depth there. You guys can see that, right? So do we use models? So the standard thing that we saw today upstairs was you have some data, you run a model, and you're going to be learning how often do people turn left at a light at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have an automated plan. And that's our standard thing. We work on the planner side mostly. Well, what's the alternative to that? We don't want models. Well, it's model-free reinforcement learning, right? And this is where we might feel insecure. Right? If you in AI today, when people talk about planning and decision making, a lot of people just go straight to deep RL. And if you listen to DeepMind and a lot of people in that community, it's all reinforcement learning. Learn from scratch. Don't be digging models or crowdsourcing. So I wanted to try to unpack that and see if it's a reasonable point of view. So, learning from scratch, why, if you think about model-free reinforcement learning, learning from scratch in the real world is generally not going to be something you can do. Right? You're not going to be experimenting with traffic light signals in the real world. Any real problem with serious consequences, you're going to be using RL offline to learn a policy of some sort. So if you're willing to do that, and you have to do that, well, that requires a learning model or simulator for this offline learning. And so, based on that, model-free RL is really we should just view it as another type of planner in that scenario. And it's just a planner that happens to learn a complete policy usually and throws away the model maybe online reactively. I just want to unpack that a little bit. This might be where we are. We do deliberative planning in an online scenario. I'm thinking online scenario here. What a model-free RO would do is give you a fast reactive policy. Serve it with this zip string and gives you an action. And it's worth looking at the differences here, the obvious differences. Speed versus quality. So obviously the fast reactive policy is going to be blazingly fast, and we saw when Sylvie's talk today, speed is a problem. It's really hard to arrange and make decisions quickly. Quality, though, a lot of times it feels like it's going to be hard to compile away all this search into a circuit like that. AlphaGo is a good example of this. So a lot of people might think it's just based on RL, search with a sample. We did an amazing, that network that was blazingly fast was actually an amazing no player, but it was not real fast. So we still left it on. Finally, I'd say when it comes to trustworthiness, it feels like we want some sort of model, at least, even if it's not no longer, at least the assumption typically of reasonableness of the action. And if you just have this circuit making actions and making decisions, it feels harder to trust me. If there's some sort of certificate, I'll trust it more. And so the way I like to look at this is there's really a big space in between here. And it's fine to be learning some sort of reactive knowledge and some sort of intuition to guide our search. And so I'm interested in this space here where I think this is where the reinforcement learning in our community can really come together. Figure out how to combine the both the best of both worlds. So finally, what can the ICAPS community offer? A couple of things. There's a lot of things just kept going. But RL internally requires this to guide into the hard problem. We can just apply RL and find UCC characteristics. It's a relatively easy problem, but that won't be until cost. So ICAPS has great ideas for heuristics in specific languages, but and also ideas for how to view those heuristics. So these topics learning is interesting. You can view the weak relaxation in a certain way and see the individualized heuristics that way in a different problem. So I think we should try to apply our minds and the principles that we've developed to heuristics for a wider class of models. What if we started with a neural net model? You want to make a splash? Start with a neural net model and figure out how to design good heuristics. So that will be all over our and all over the place. Oh, that's nice.
Next. Okay, so I think Alan and I are largely in sync. I don't want to add too much, so I'll be quick here. For me, I kind of agree, being
entirely model free online. You don't want your copies over your HVAC system to be, cooling or heating the room, just to learn about things. We have lots of offline data, many domains. We have 2, 3, 10 years of data. We can learn great models from that data, and so let's see what we can learn in this model offline. I think it'd be much more efficient if you actually exploit a model and just sort of sample blindly. I'm not a fan of the AlphaGo work where you sort of, have to have 1,000 or 2,000 machines just to search and treat. So I do like models, and I see just two basic camps for how you get functional data. Either you just need to learn the parameters, and then go back to riddle, PDL, whatever. That's easy. We can do our work. Or in some cases, you might want to learn the structure of both of your models. Right? If you're a coach, you know well, laws of physics, laws, etc. I would hate to learn these things in data. But there are other things like an HVAC, or thermal conductance of walls, and so on, or what parts of the building affect you. Whichever that I might want to learn from the data. But that's not hard. I've got current state in action, next state. We have tons of methods to learn these models. In that case, then we do end up with the issue of how do you plan to learn models? Because this one model may not look at the models we manually specify. I think that's a great challenge. I have a paper of a student at ICAPS, about how to do that, but there are many other ideas of how to plan and learn models. But I think that's where I would like to see ICAPS go, right? So your models still have states, they still have effects, but they're not as clean as the ones we're used to manually specifying. How does that change our planners? It's a great question. Let's see more of that. Just to answer some other questions. I really don't see any tension with ICAPS. I see great opportunity for us. Should planning be data-centric? I certainly think we should run a public planning competition or even university planning competition where we do just give the data, right? We generate data from our models, but we just give the data to the competitors, right? You have to learn the model and plan it. So that'd be quite interesting. And finally, the final question, are students modeling language is useful when they're part of the data? Absolutely, you can learn effects. I've already seen plenty of papers on that. With Riddle, I'm already learning parts of the Riddle model from data using deep nets. Right? And deep nets are not black boxes, they're gray boxes. They actually have a lot of structure, so you can structure them. So I think our languages directly support parts that can be learned from data, so that's not a problem at all. Finally, how do we use GPUs? I think we can use them quite well. You'd be amazed at what you can do with TensorFlow and the latest gradient descent algorithms running on GPUs. So like on my group right now is working on how you use TensorFlow as a planning system. With AutoGIF, amazing gradient descent and non-conventional and fine through to the existing so I think we have opportunities to use these GPUs as well.
Hi, my name is Shirin Sohrabi. Just a few sentences about me. I work at IBM Research in New York for about 5 years working there. There's a lot of applications of planning that planning can be used for, but there are also lots of barriers of using planning. And what I do in my everyday and this life is to make sure that people still use planning and help in use of planning in different applications. So I want to talk about 3 points, and I may not cover all of these points. So 3 points. One is that something that has never happened before, it would be very hard to predict. And so that means partially there's no data, or the data is not in the form that you want it to be. And that's especially the application that I'm currently working on. So we have a paper at the Spark. This is a risk management project where we are working with chief financial officers in order to understand their domain, their economical states, and all the things that influence their model. And they're willing to help us come up with a domain, but they specifically told us we're not writing PDDL. So we had to find ways, and this is knowledge engineering work, and there's knowledge engineering workshops, and it's one of the, I guess, great things that's going on at ICAPS, which really helps in not just helping with the user in terms of writing the domain, but also visualizing the end results and sort of interaction with the human, which is very, very important. So that's number one. So just to say also that there's been lots of work on learning, but sometimes even the ones that I guess Scott was saying, that you do have the traces, and these traces are coming from the complete domain, which in some real applications is not possible when you're trying to do it. You don't have the traces to begin with, so that's very hard to get. So my second point is that while learning the domain from scratch is actually could be quite hard. I agree with some of the other earlier points that you can learn some part of it. And there's papers here learning axioms, maybe learning the duration of actions, learning costs, learning some causal relationships, not necessarily in PDDL, but to help you understand more about the domain. And the problem that arises, the problem that I see that arises from learning this external knowledge is that you may already have some domain to begin with, and then you're learning some extra things that they may not match. So you have a problem with inconsistencies between things that you're learning, if you're augmenting your domain. And a solution to that would be model-like planning, of course, and also getting a list of possible plans, or generating a set of plans rather than one. And then getting the help of the user in giving you a thumbs up and thumbs down, or some sort of a feedback on which of these plans you actually liked. And then you have the feedback loop, and you learn the domain that way. So sort of augment the domain learning, which is quite good. My third point is that there was an earlier panel on Spark, which Daniel Magazine mentioned that we are competing with AI not equal to learning, and especially not just learning is deep learning. And in order to address some of that issues, we need to find ways to make AI planning more immutable to a greater audience. So having some sort of a domain repository of all the domains that are realistic and people have worked on will greatly help on that regard. And it starts from us and believing that planning is useful, planning that we can, believing that we can use planning on many applications. And there are barriers of just taking learning approaches, and we still need the models to do it.
Okay, so I figured out by this time that my esteemed colleagues would answer all of our questions, and since Scott is extremely systematic in doing beautiful this. Now, I also have to mention that Jonathan Swift said that I didn't have time for an short lemon, so I will expect Rao to cut me off, but until I get there, right? So, yeah, I love data, right? In this current era, I love data. Okay, so we can't live without it, we know that, right? We can plan, have data, we can have data plan, right? We turn it into models or what, bother and reason about the data, right? Anyway, the whole is yours, right? Okay, so the question and the thing that I'm going to try to address is why do we do these things, right? And what I see in data. I'm not cover what my esteemed colleagues will. Right? So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples until Ralph pulls me off. So the first is I'll take something very close and I'll do over to monitoring. By time, then I'll talk about planning that information or information-based planning, right? And then if I still have an info off, and I'll do the notion of safety-driven program conception. Of course, we need to learn models for this. We don't models, right? So I just leave that for that topic right now. So for this go directly marketing, then we have a lot of plans, right, that we have developed. We probably have developed at least, 1 million or more plans by now, right? And we probably executed 10 of them. Right, so So if we actually wanted to execute one of the first plans, right, which is just a block stacking example we talked about what to do, and you're actually collecting real data, then it's very non-trivial task, right? So there's actually 5 really tiny cheap webcams over here which are trying to estimate the state of identifying objects. This is what the robot is thinking is going on. And then there's this human who just keeps mucking things up by moving blocks along the way, and the planner is kind of adapt, right? So all of that and the ability of the robot to be able to kind of infer its state and kind of adapt to the human is this area, which we call causal monitoring. Now, if we actually do causal monitoring on this kind of problem, in the real world, then we have to deal with the fact that we have observational circuits, so we have noisy sensors, right? We have hidden states, we have continuous variables. And so in that case, we have to deal with the dynamical systems whose nodes change, right? Deal with the noise of that. In this example, we had to deal with the fact that the cameras are faulty and they're giving you fake information to be able to diagnose the camera. So if you look at the original problem, which was causal monitoring, right, which is a very beautiful idea, but not explored that much in the community since initial ideas, then there's really a very rich data processing problem. So how do we actually do goal monitoring and how do we monitor it robustly? And that really becomes the fundamental problem to execution of the plan. So then, of course, you have to be able to learn the models to be able to support that. And then if we start talking about, we're going to an AMOS world, right, where we're actually working in a world where we have an uncontrolled environment, and those days are drivers or maybe collaborators, right? We're not only using that to estimate their state, but we have to be able to predict what their actions are so we can actually do it. So I would just kind of advocate that just within our home, if we actually want our plans to be useful, then we're really going to have to use a lot more about the data. We're going to need to look at them on problems. That's a very good research. Okay, so that's one example I just got, which is a problem that we should be doing. Right? Another example is the fact that if we want to be able to have a ton of systems acting in the world, then we do need to deal with plans, but they also need to be able to ensure that people are safe. So then the question is, how do we achieve that safety? So this is just an example of which is that we operated like 2 years ago, right, where we're dealing with safety. Now, if you think about these kinds of information, these missions, then we're often using air vehicles and underwater vehicles to gather information. So in those cases, they are doing planning and service of information gathering. That's the notion of information-based planning. So information-based planning is fundamental to a world where data is sparse and you need to work towards it. And you need to be able to develop plans. Right? Certainly, as trajectory optimization, you need to use plans and there's a range of planning. And it does involve motion, like in this case. But for example, the issue of being able to get back the data can be safe when you get back is really important. So not only do you need to have a system that's planned to gather information, but you also need to make sure that it keeps itself safe along the way. And this is kind of one example that you see it more generally. So we develop explorers, right? We work to acquire a science model, right? And that's the notion of information-based planning. High value information is also in very risky environments. So we have to be able to think in our plans what's too risky. But the other thing is that we have uncertainty in our model of the world, then what we can do is we can be able to do forward exploration to try to reduce the uncertainty of the world so that it becomes more safe to get our targets. So in that case, the process of interweaving information gathering right for our model so we can have a more predictable model versus having to gather information is a real interesting interplay that's very interesting problem to explore. And we can have that in our real world as well. So if we're talking about a robot hardware, and our robot hardware is failing, then what we can do is as we're controlling the robot, we can try to expose information which reveals failure. Then we have that in everyday life. Right? We may go up and we have a door, we don't know if it's locked or not, so we go to the doorknob and we hug it a little bit. And then that citizen goes to the door is locked or not, and we act accordingly. So we're constantly acting in the world to gather information, right, which helps us to act. So that's another area which is right within planning. Not quite. But you were good about it. Right. Okay, so then the last one is the notion of safety-driven probing and perception. And what I think is interesting here is that if you talk about, for example, vision systems or perceptual systems, right, then for example, there's a huge attention to autonomous vehicles, and a big part of the work in autonomous systems right now is perception and how do you perceive the driver, how do you perceive pedestrians, the cars around you. And it's overwhelming about how do you collect that data. But there is a set of goals, right? The goals are to try to make sure that the passengers and pedestrians and people see where it's safe. So if you know that that's what your goals are, and that's what your plan is, then your perception system can be able to say, am I safe or not? Right? If you know that things are safe, right, then you can have your perception work elsewhere, right? If you're not sure, then you want to be able to guide your perceptual system to those things which will be able to help you assess risk. So in this case, the notion of risk becomes a driver for how much information that you gather. More generally, if you have such goals, you can guide the perceptual system in support of those goals. So in that case, perception and the repeat network are very much in service of planning.
Okay, so at the risk of referring to some of the things that were discussed, let me quickly say a couple of my thoughts about these topics. Well, first, I always thought about planning as really the hallmark of intelligence, but in a broader sense than sometimes than we think about. In the sense that we want to build agents that can choose actions, but how do we choose actions? There's actually quite a lot of different ways, and you need to remember that. And all of them are valid, and many of them are represented by the community, but if we think about all the different mechanisms, an agent can choose actions by design because it means hardwired or pre-programmed. Or it can use explicit deliberation. That's what we mostly are interested in. Where we give the agent a model of the environment, and then it finds the best action or inaction by creating a plan. Or it can learn or adapt to have the right agent along the lines of reinforcement learning or other mechanisms. Or it can ask for help, and so on and so forth. And once you start thinking about real systems in the real world, they are not identified with any one mechanism purely. There's always a great deal of design that goes into the solution, even if it's not explicitly thought about. Even systems that are considered in reinforcement learning model 3, they start with a set of actions. You decide what the actions are, what the states are, what the observations are, and so on. It's not completely self-selected. So that's one point. The other point is, well, models are very, very useful. They can provide lots of different information. That many of that was discussed. Maybe I will just add some advice on statisticians. We must not forget that the aim is to understand something about the real world, or predict, choose an action, make a decision, summarize evidence, and so on, but always about the real world. Our models are not the reality. So that's maybe one thing that I want to kind of underscore. So the other thing to remember is that there are no perfect models, regardless of how you generate them. Handcrafted or not, there are many reasons why the models are not perfect with respect to the reality that you're trying to model. And again, there are many reasons for that. There's also no perfect modeling languages. So statisticians are often being warned not to fall in love with their models, and I think the ICAPS community needs to be warned not to fall in love with its modeling language or languages, and kind of think about how to broaden them. So I think the algorithms we developed for the models that we have been focusing on are extremely useful. But as we saw in theory talk and in other examples, they may be used in an unusual way to solve a slice of the overall problem. So to the question whether in the age of big data there is no need for models, I think that a lot of that was answered. But I want to just underscore one thing. There is no such thing as model free. I mean, the only techniques that are purely model free are generating tests, reasoning by enumeration, table lookup, and so on. those cannot really work well for anything that is complex. So even if you think about machine learning techniques, including reinforcement learning, model-free reinforcement learning, there is actually a great deal of modeling that's going on. And the planning community also needs to see how it can leverage both data and models. So I will skip the summary, which is just reiterating that. And maybe just say, need to focus more on the real world and acknowledge that the models themselves are not the real world, the real world.
So we actually do roller set that we can't do that. So what we're going to do actually is open the floor for questions. But I thought I'll take my prerogative to start one question at least. One of the things is, some of you said, for example, that there are millions of plans that we have already generated in my lab. You of course say it's coming cheap, that we don't use any of them. But I was wondering whether any of you think that we should really be out there setting up plan data sets that other people can use, because that seems to have had a huge impact in like ImageNet. I understand that ImageNet now makes people think that world is full of dots, but at least they have an actual data set, and that becomes the one that you can use. We tended to have models and benchmarks, but we don't have any data sets. So I was wondering if any of you think that somebody here should be busy in the fraternity of the planning community, where they set up a plan net, and of course, if you do that, where do you get these traces? Where exactly are you finding these traces? That's one of the biggest things I find in this. So, are there any comments? And while they are trying to answer, if anybody who wants to ask questions, please raise your hand. I will get you the mic. Yes, and there's an extra mic there.
So is it? That's an interesting question. I wouldn't think if I were the most million plans that we generate for IPC and stuff like that, it would be that diversity to do something like. I mean, depending on the names, especially uses standing or sitting there. Right. So what I do think is good service is right that planning domains has provided a set of planners as a service, so people can go in and say, okay, I want to be able to generate a plan, it's just about making a model and getting those plans. Whether or not the plans that we generate are actually inherently useful.
Yeah, that's going to be a circular thing here, that we made the models and they're using those models to make the raw data. I'm talking more about getting plan data from the right. That's the same sort of thing that ImageNet has did, and whether there's a way we could do it, whether we should do it. But it's really very else.
I was just trying to think of what the model is. There really, there is this thing called batch reinforcement, where you have a batch of data, for example, from hospital experiences. And sometimes these don't need to be full cases. And so from that batch of data, they'll try to develop a policy. That seems a little bit limiting, but sometimes that's all we have for batch of data. So, any of the applications outside of data is interesting. And this is a question of what's, how many people would have the machinery to actually pull off the planning side for each of those applications. Compared to a lot of the learning was relatively simple in some of those applications. But it would be interesting, because then you could ask questions such as, what if I try learning a deep net for this model, and then people could play with that as opposed to learning a deep net. Yes, it would be great.
I guess in my experience, it's been the case that you don't have the plan traces because you really don't have the domain to begin with. And you mentioned that sometimes, in these papers on learning, they do assume that somebody has this complete domain, and maybe they remove something, but maybe they still try to figure out that, from the plan traces, what can you learn? And another point is that these plan traces are often correct or perfect in some way. So there's no inconsistencies, there's nothing wrong with them. They're coming from actual plans, so they are to be worked with. But in reality, I mean, first of all, maybe hard to get them, and second of all, they're not perfect. Something that could be done is some work on natural language. So data in terms of books, Wikipedia, social media, blogs. It could be that you can learn and give it some work on that. So when you learn some causal relationship between terms, count, frequency, the word, etc. So there's going to be some work on that. But it needs to be more.
Okay, so let's get.
So